Hey everybody, Board 101, or Stock if you prefer. Welcome back to another one of these. I decided to boot up TF2 after a few. I haven't played this since January. Thought it would be fun to revisit this after a bit. I'm playing in a bot match. I'm not in like a public server or anything like that, because I tried that and the mic thing, like people talking on it, was a bit distracting. So I know this probably isn't as entertaining, but it won't get me in trouble when people say things that probably shouldn't be said. But anyway, what are we gonna talk? What am I want to talk about today? I'm gonna start with a thank you actually, because the last stock talk that happened, the Pizza Tower one, it became my most viewed thing that I've posted on this channel, and that's including like the first video I did back when I was trying to do Shakedown Hawaii. That it did better than that almost immediately. So thank you guys being for the heavy support you gave that video. I hear you loud and clear. Like from what I can tell, from what gets the most views, what I get the most support of, both from the anonymous viewers over the web, hello, as well as all of the people that I know personally. All the praise seems to go to the stock talk style. So if that's what people like, if that's what people want, that's what I'm going to put more of my energy towards instead of, the stuff that no one really talks about or seems to care for all that much. Because changing for the better is an important asset. Like, sure, it's good to stick to your guns sometimes, but other times, if you see a reason to change, it's good to change, And if you guys want me to be just do the stock talk thing, because that's what makes me that's my preferred format for what you guys like out of me, then I am happy to accommodate. I have had a bit of a early November for me. It's been a little bit crazy. I just had a really long week of work that wasn't fun, but all that's over now. And this week I get a little bit of a reprieve. They're giving me 30 minutes off on Friday, so that's good. That's good. I get a little bit of a break to myself in the coming days. On top of that, trying to think. On top of that, I also I no, yeah, we'll go there. I was told to, if I could come in on Thursday, come in on Thursday, but I mean, seeing as I'm recording this now, I think you know what I chose to do. He's probably not gonna see this, but if you do, sorry, boss. Not the friend I call boss, like my work boss. Sorry, I chose to play Team Fortress 2 instead of help you do the thing you said you were gonna do on Tuesday. Because that's a thing that happened. Because I might have mentioned this, but the big reason I had to stay behind was I was doing inventory, where we got to get the store set up so everything we have can be counted up. And what happened with that was we did that, or I did as much as I can. Uh, yeah, it got all done. I think at least after hours when I had to leave. Everyone else was there. They did a really good job. Uh, and while it was being done, we were told that the store would be uninventory stocked when we got back on Wednesday. Come Wednesday, oh, hello. But yeah, come Wednesday, I walk in and I see that everything is exactly the same as it was left on Monday, right? So, I guess they didn't do it. Whatever. As I'm doing my normal job, out comes the manager, freaking going, "Hey, can you come in on Thursday?" I mean, You tell me what he wanted me to do. Personally, I'm in the ballpark that he's wanting me to come in on Thursday and uninventory stock the store since he couldn't get it done on Tuesday. So I'm not too bothered about it. I mean, just means that maybe he'll have to do the job that he said he was going to do instead of doing nothing. Oh well, it's fine, really. I mean, no hair off my back. Just means either it'll get done today, or that's going to be what I'm doing on Friday if they decide, oh well, we're not going to do it again today either, and we'll just make everyone else do it on Friday. Sorry, I had to focus there for a sec. But yeah, that's been my work week. On top of that, I had a bit of a scare coming home yesterday where apparently there was a little bit of tension amongst my friend group. Then some stuff went down. That's going to be a conversation I have to have. When this goes up, I'm going to have to figure out what happened there and see what can be done about it. Hopefully nothing too serious, but whatever happens, happens. Okay, so moving on from work, moving on from my social life. Yeah, I mentioned being able to change and move with the times is important. That's that's been kind of a thing. That's a lesson really a lot of people should be willing to take is being willing to, go with the flow sometimes. Because there are things that are like out of your control and you need to adapt sometimes. I mean, take what happened with me where we had to move out of my old city and had to move to this one. Part of that was adapting to the new environment. Forgot I can't get food to myself. That was oopsie doosel. That was an even bigger oopsie doosel. Anyway, yeah, a lot of things had to be adjusted. Like I had to leave one grocery store job to go to the other grocery store job, and it it's kind of sad how I feel about the new job now after all the stuff that's gone down. Like the work itself, I don't really mind all that much. You know, I'm not really a big fan of their management style. I mean, I issues with it, but I'll leave it at out of the two jobs I've had so far, outside of being a teacher's assistant for high school, the two jobs I've had are stocking shelves and cleaning toilets. And it's a problem when you're starting to prefer the toilets. That is not an invitation to make me a janitor again. I have been strictly forbidden from ever going to do a cleaning job again. That is a direct order from me ma, and I don't want to make her upset. Nor would I really want to do that again. I've seen enough things like that for one lifetime. It is nice to see. Like, I mean, if you're like I've cleaned a lot of stuff back at that job. I mean, back in the day where I was doing that stuff, like I'm trying to think of like the biggest mess I had to clean back then. Okay, I guess I'm safe to think for a bit. I think like the biggest messes I had to clean were there was this one time where I walked into the stall. Uh, one more detail about the janitor job. This was during the big 2020 thing. Like this was when the you know what was running around, and I was cleaning in that time, which is probably why they kept me around so long. Actually, no, no, no. To be fair, I was pretty good. I was decent at the job. Like I got things done, and I got into a nice little routine. Certainly did a. I was at least more diligent about my work than some of the other people we had in that job. No offense if no offense to them. No offense to them. They're good. It's just one could try a little harder and one age was just getting to him. But the worst mess I had to do was I walk into the men's bathroom. Another tip about cleaning bathrooms. This is just a little fun fact I noticed, at least from the place I worked. The men's bathroom will have the worst messes, but 9 times out of 10, it's the women's bathroom that has like the most stuff you have to clean. Like the worst messes were in the men's bathroom. Like the worst one I had to clean, of course, it was in the men's, but like the women's bathroom, it has a lot. Like it had a lot of bad stuff in it as well. uh, yeah, like, and I'm not just talking about having to clean out the tampon box, which, uh, not fun, but gotta do what you get, gotta do the job you're given, and part of that is cleaning out those boxes. But the worst mess is I walk into the men's bathroom. You go into the stall that's safe for the handicapped people, and everything is covered in fecal matter, like the whole thing. Not just like the toilet, like it's leaking out and there's like gunk water in on the floor. Somehow they fucking got it onto the wall. I fit like there were some bits on the wall on the stall wall somehow. You tell me how that's possible, how you go that hard. That still amazes me. Like I've seen gunk on the walls before. Like I back when I was in elementary school, I put gunk on the wall because I didn't know what to do with it. Another story for another time. That time maybe being never, unless I've told that story before, or I just feel like it would be an appropriate time. But I mean, when would exactly be an appropriate time to talk about the time in elementary school you frickin' smeared green shit on the wall? Kid me was weird. Kid me was weird. But yeah, the stall at my old job, completely just decimated. I don't know who did that, but that was a nightmare to clean. Not a fun time for me. And I mean, it was still a good job though. Like the management was really nice. I mean, I didn't agree with all of our coworkers. I mean, we had the place I was living at the time was filled with all kinds of folk and not exactly the most reputable bunch. We had classic cases of employees stealing food. You had people who didn't really care about their jobs that much. Customers weren't much better either. I mean, sure, you had some really fun guys. Like there was this one guy who was always at work, who like I saw him maybe once a month. Who, while he was sitting in like the line to go to the cash register, he'd just pull out like a flute, like and not like a metal flute. I mean like a pan flute or something, like one of those little wooden flutes, and he'd just start shredding it on the flute and like playing super nice while he's in the cat like thing. Like it's really cool. And then there was this one other guy who always brought his dog in with him. I don't think it was a seeing eye dog, mainly because it wasn't even on a leash. But he had that thing perfectly tamed. Like, it wasn't on a leash, but it was perfectly fine. That dog was chill. course, you had some bad customers. I mean, at least once a week, you'd have some customer that's trying to steal something, and depending on what manager's on duty, they'd either get away with it or they'd chase the punk out into the parking lot. Not kidding on that one. And of course, it's the smallest older woman out of the managers at the place at the time that's chasing him down. And they had a nice rule for thieves where if you see someone stealing, just let the managers handle it. Don't get involved. It's certainly better than my new place's policy of frickin' just give really good customer service to the thieves and they won't steal. Yeah, like being nice to a person that has the intention to steal is gonna stop them from stealing. Me complimenting them on their frickin' shoe wear isn't gonna stop that. If they're gonna steal something, they're gonna steal something. But yeah, it was a weird job, but after a while, I didn't mind it. Not the best employees, but managers were good. The job itself was pretty lax. I mean, again, I found a really nice routine to work with, and that helped the days go by to the point where I didn't mind. It just gave me another thing to do. The this new job though, it's exact opposite. Like with the old job, it was good management, not so good employees. With this job, it's good employees, not so good management. Like, here's the thing. I was trying to get some days off because my folks are going to be out of town, are going to be out of way for the bit for Thanksgiving that's coming up. Uh, my ride, because I don't own a car yet, my ride at the time is going to be out of town because she's going to my sister's place for Thanksgiving to go spend the holiday with her. And they have this little app they use. I don't know if any of you have used it. Logile is the name of the app that they use for getting, for like putting in requests and whatnot. And this app, like I've had to put in multiple time off requests because stuff goes down. Like my folks want to go on vacation, so I gotta stop them. I have to let them know, hey, I'm not going to be able to come in because no ride. Or when I needed to stay home for a while because my dad was going through back surgery, or he just got out of back surgery and someone needed to stay home to make sure he was okay. But every time I had to go to them and they'd be like, oh, you should use the app next time, you should use the app. So this time, when I'm trying to set it up, I use the app. Of course, the request I put in, time off, 2 days, personal reasons, uh, the request goes to the manager of the grocery department. And then it goes to the other manager. And then it goes to the store manager. And then since it's been in the thing for 2 weeks, it just expires. And then they put me on the thing anyway. So it's good to know that I'm being ignored. It's good to know that management only will do it if I go up to their face and ask them for it, since the app does diddly shit. Because they could just ignore it and then put you on anyway. And I like, oh, we didn't know anything. Yeah. I said I wasn't going to use this time to just rant about my job, yet here I am. Oh well, if I don't like it, but eventually I'll find a new job. Maybe third time's the charm, like maybe this will be a good fit for me. I mean, it took a lot. I mean, no one in the family has ever gotten their job on their first attempt. Like my dad went from doing carpentry work. He spent some time in a shoe shop. He went to the Coca-Cola factory where he met my mom, and now he's working on the railroad station at a railroad station where That's his job now. Like, he started as an engineer. Nowadays, he's actually become a manager. You know, props to him, and the money he's bringing in is very nice. Then there's my mom, who has gone through jobs for time. When I was born, she was working at a women's breast cancer organization, like a breast cancer research thing. Nowadays, she's working as a person at the golf course, and they're doing some pretty nasty stuff to try. Well, they were for a while, at least. I don't know if they're still doing it. Where they were trying to basically coerce her into, oh, you have so much work to do. If only you had more hours and you were a full-time employee. You know, trying to pull that little stunt. And then there's my sister, who growing up wanted to be a speech pathologist, but some of the college classes were just a bit much, and now she's working as the manager of this warehouse down in a big city. So I wasn't expecting to land like the job on my first attempt or my first two attempts. It's just all part of the process. I mean, at least if I don't like even if my real job ain't exactly the bee's knees, I at least have my other job, you know, the voice acting thing I'm doing. And it technically counts as a job since I'm going to be paid for it eventually. I didn't expect I was going to get paid for it, but that's what I've been told at least, so it technically counts as a job. I wanted to hit him with a sign, but oh well. Curse you, rev downtime. Oh well. But yeah, I'm still enjoying that. Like, it's still going good. If you know what, I'll do the plug later. No need to do the plug right out the gate. I mean, this is usually the point of the video where most people have already clicked off because they see not editing and they just decide to go watch something else. So I could just save the plug for the people that are sticking through it to the end. If you're still here, by the way, thanks. Not complaining. I'm just happy anyone's here at all, you know? Just glad I can entertain at least a little bit. Or maybe I'm one of those guys that you put on in the background while while you're driving home from work and you're listening to someone talk instead of like a radio show. Or you're trying to go to sleep and you want someone a little bit less chaotic to be listening to. Instead, you want someone who seems a bit more, not as high energy, because I'll admit I'm not exactly the most energetic person on the planet. That's not really a big secret. But hey, maybe that helps people relax a little bit, give more of a calming thing. That's not a hint at me going into anything like that. You're not going to be seeing stock ASMR anytime soon. Especially since I think my folks would be a bit confused, especially if I went into more ARP stuff instead of regular ASMR. If you don't know what that is, folks, don't look it up. For the people that don't know what that is, don't. I'll probably have to explain that to the people that live in the house with me. Me, mom, and dad. Hey guys, if you're watching this, by the way, hello. Uh, I, I don't want to explain what that is, but I'll know, like, hey, what is this thing you mentioned? I'll know that this was my fault. That's gonna be an issue. Oh well. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm not gonna do any ASMR stuff. That's not really my cup of tea. Plus, again, it'd be with a headset mic, so I'm not sure how good that'd go. was I thinking about? Okay, here we are. Sorry. I was a bit lost in my head there for a second. And I got lost again. Sorry. That have any of you done that? Like where you're just thinking and then you kind of just zone out for a bit. I've been doing that a lot lately. It's a bit of a, it's a thing. Whatever. You know, it's just again, it's part of the big old word of the day. The big old word being change. If this were a kids' TV show, this would be the section where the word change just pops up in big bold letters, being like, "Hey kids, the word of the day is change. Can you tell me what change means?" I don't I don't know why they'd use change as the word. No, that's a pretty basic word, but who knows? That actually leads in pretty well to. I mentioned that I want to focus more on the stock talk since that's what you guys seem to like, and that kind of led to this thing of like, yeah, I'm trying to balance the stock talk with the whole Stok Plays thing where I actually play games, and you know, the gameplay style kind of fits a different kind of person from what I am. It needs someone either with really good skill, which you've seen me play, you know I don't have that, and it or requires someone very high energy, very energetic who can give good game reactions, which is also not me. So I think I'm going to step away from Stok Plays, which I don't think anyone is too sad about. If anything is to go off of, I don't think anyone will mind me focusing on the thing people like over the thing people are just kind of, that's there too, I guess. If you did care about the Stok Plays stuff, like if you wanted more gameplay-oriented content, the DOS channel is still linked in my channel. That's mostly what that is. It's just the whole crew playing video games. I mean, we're still doing our Omori playthrough. We only have one video left on the backlog in that, which is exciting, and that video hasn't come out yet, I don't think. Yeah, it didn't come out yet. But there's a big surprise coming in the new one that I think you guys will enjoy, especially if you enjoy looking at the little Goober in the side of my screen. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with what's about to happen for the TOS videos going forward, starting with the Omori video that has yet to come out. After that, who knows? I don't know what we'll play after that. I've heard Discord boss, not a real boss, mention a couple games, all of which are horror themed. Maybe I can convince them to just do a non-horror game or a non-horror themed game, but probably not. I know what they like. It's what it is. And I am willing to accommodate for the likes and wants of the others. Yay. Okay. But yeah, if you want more gameplay stuff, go to the TOS channel. Link is in the channel, as always. That's one of the first things you're going to see. Check out the Omori playthrough if you haven't already. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And we'll hopefully have more stuff coming on that relatively soon. Just depends on the schedules of everybody else involved. I don't know why I'm thinking a bot. I don't know. It's like when it's like when you talk to an animal at like a zoo. You know it's not going to do anything, but it's nice to just pretend like it hears you or cares. So, yeah, moving on from that. There's my plug for the channel. I don't think I've done that for in a while, but good to know. Then there's moving on from the big channel announcement. Yeah, nah, Stock Plays is probably not going to happen anymore. It's just going to be Stock Talk from now on. Twice a month. That's the plan now. Sorry, everybody that wanted more Monster Road Trip, all three of you. I guess I'm doing this manually now since I ran out of ammo. How that worked is beyond me. Okay, so that's the plan going forward. It's just twice a month. Expect just the Stock Talk to pop up at some point. Thursday is looking like the most likely day since that's one of the main days I can get the house to myself with my folks going over to check on the grandparents. That's probably the day these will come out, but you know, schedule's weird, and I've learned that I shouldn't make promises because I haven't kept most of them, especially when it comes to scheduling videos and saying this is when this is going to come out. I mean, I've canceled 2 projects already as is. One out of lack of motivation, and the other one because I just kept getting audio issues every single time I tried to record the bloody thing. I don't know what it is. There's also, yeah, I haven't been. Sorry for if you think I'm like a big liar now because I just keep uh, not making do on every promise I give on this channel or saying like I'm gonna do a thing. I then proceed to not do the thing. But oh well, no one really seemed to mind since the promises I were making for the stuff that wasn't really the big stuff people cared about anyway. And I know I'm not going to be like a big thing at any point, but it's nice to feel like, you know, that I at least kind of understand what people like. And this is this isn't really a I don't know if this is like a genre, just kind of a ramble talk over a game instead of like an actual script or edited gameplay or anything like that, just kind of a blind talking. Oh, hey, look, it's me over there. Hi, me. Glad I didn't have the mic on for that one. That was a heck of a belt I just let out. I guess, yeah, well, I mean, I mentioned I didn't play Team Fortress in a while. I used to be pretty avid into playing this. I have almost 100 hours in just engineer gameplay alone. I used to play a lot of Team Fortress 2 back in the day. I even got some of those, remember the action figures? I got some of those a while back. The ones that gave you like the genuine hat. I lost them to a scammer, sadly, because you know, idiot kid. But not the scammer. I was the idiot kid. Don't worry. I'm not calling. I'm not going to call the scammer an idiot because I mean he tricked me. So that would be pot calling the kettle black on that one. But yeah, I've been playing TF2 for quite a bit. I'm not really the best at it since I mostly just use meme strategies. I used to be a caber person, you know, the sticky jumper, run into the enemy team, caber, both die, rinse and repeat forever. Just makes someone's life miserable. Besides that, besides that, I mostly play engineer. I thought I'd play heavy a little bit this time because I'm wanting to try and get better at the big Russian. Uh, He's a fun class to play, personally. Like, I like playing the big tankier characters. I have a bit of a weak point when it comes to speed, so it works. Yeah, good job. Okay, wait. I Team Fortress 2 is like the only first-person shooter that I really ever got into. That and back when Overwatch first came out, I was pretty into that. Didn't get as hyped with Overwatch 2. Like I played it a little bit when when my best friend got into it for a while. I tried getting back into it. It wasn't the same. I don't know what it was. It just felt off, you know. Not the best idea to be eating right here, but it worked, so I'm not complaining. I love the when you get blown up and you just get flung without actually like gibbing. I don't know why. I just get it's a giggle every time that happens. Sorry, I was staying up a little late last night. I mentioned there were a few issues, and I was talking with some friends pretty late into the night. Badge spy. No, that's illegal. But yeah, I was up until like 2 o'clock in the morning last night just chatting with a couple of my friends. At first, it was me trying to figure out what happened because there was some issues that went down. But after that, we just kind of built a house in Minecraft. We were building a house. Well, they were building a house in Minecraft. I was just kind of goofing around. We watched the DB. Me and one of them watched the DBCA Boo Bits. He really likes DBCA, and he hadn't seen Boo Bits yet, so it was nice to be able to get to watch them with him. He really liked the Vegeta sacrifice bit. I should play a DBC game one of these days, either Breakers or Xenoverse. I'm better at Xenoverse, but Breakers might be better for the Stock Talk format, since it'd be like the Pizza Tower thing where I'm holding shift the whole time, because I had to keep sprinting around to punch people. So it might be better for me to do Breakers. Plus, it might be funny to watch me get get hand get my everything handed to me by a big goal Saiyan now that Broly's out. I'm glad they used Super Broly for that, by the way. I much prefer him to Z Broly. I'm not going to turn this into a DBC ramble. I'll save the Dragon Ball stuff for when I play Breakers. And then I also have a game planned for December. I got a classic Christmas game for uh, for that one. And then I probably won't do one until I get the new setup, which is when you'll get to hear an even crisper version of Stock with a keyboard that doesn't go clickety clickety clack every time I turn on my mic and then do anything. I love this game so much, man. Even with bots, I'm just finding ways to amuse myself with humorous death. That is one thing you have to appreciate TF2 for staying alive after all of this time. It's still going. Is that thing up to level 2 now? Yes, yeah, that thing's up to level 2. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. What was I thinking about? Yeah, TF2's been around for like a really long time. Like, I was playing this back in middle school. That's how long this shit's been around, and I wasn't even like one of the first people around. Like, I only joined right when Marasmus popped into the picture. Back then, I thought he was the most difficult thing in the world because I kept trying to fight him in order to get the Marasmus hat. Eventually, I did it. It took a few more years than I'm willing to admit. But I finally got me Marasmus hat. I don't even know if they added more Halloween bosses after Pumpkin King. Or the Skeleton Lord, or whatever it's called. Yeah, sorry, then. Ugh, man. That bot has one freaking thing if you start shooting at a sniper, I swear. It's been the same thing every single time that happens. Big stretchy. Yeah, that's the basics of what's been going on with my life. That's the plan for the channel. Uh, a lot of change. Big old changes all around. Freaking try and make the title into a joke about change too. Why not? Thank you, bot, for getting rid of the engine here. I, it's a wee bit embarrassing, but oh well. Again, you don't come to stock to watch top tier gameplay. If it happens, then it's a miracle. I think I am going to switch off of heavy now, though. Let me just roll a random class. Play that for a little bit as I think I'm whittling down. I'm probably going to call it after this game. Not as big of a fan of the soldier, but he's okay. I don't know how I did that. That's about right. Again, as I just said, it's great if it's a miracle. It's a miracle if I do good, but don't expect it to last long. Why did They have like three engineer. That's like everywhere you turn is a sentry with this one. Oh well, that's the way TF2 works. Some games you do great, other games you're not doing so hot. That's the beauty of it. As long as you're having fun, that's what's important. Oh yeah, right. I only have the rocket launcher this time. Cool. That's a thing that happened. I needed to like register in my head that that indeed happened. We're getting away from engine. From no, I don't. I don't want to play NG. I know he's my main, but screw. We'll do Pyro since this seems to have a lot of. I don't know why I'm going Pyro if the main problem that our team's having right now is with Sentry, but you know whatever. I don't want to play more Pyro. This is the class that, like, when I first started playing TF2, this was the class that I really wanted to get good with first. I'm not really that good with him, but I wanted to get good at him at first. Oh well, just kind of went with shitter strategies after a while. And not like worse. I mean, like, you know, again, I mentioned I was mostly a caver person when I went to play in public lobbies. And of course, there's another sentry. It'd be funny to end the video on a loss. Part of me kind of wants it now. Oh, I did my best with that, but wait. Oh wait, we have a sentry now. Everything comes together. I should I should not focus on the game too much. I should trying to think of anything else I want to talk about. I'm kind of running low here. Uh, I'll have more to talk about for breakers, I think, when I actually can like focus on one of my old hyperfixations. This was more of just like a, you know, announcing changes to the thing, talking about my old job. I think that at least it was a few interesting things I got to talk about today. Hoping I didn't talk about them already. I should it's hard to remember everything you talk about, and I've only done a few of these, so I can only imagine how this will be in the future when I've done like a bunch of these. Even then, there's no promises that this one will even, you know, get as much like. It's fully possible the only reason the other one got big was because, again, I was covering a Pizza Tower update right when it came out, and that game's still, you know, decently popular. But hey, we'll see how this one does when it goes out. We'll see how people like it. But hey, thanks for joining me for another Stock Talk. I'm going to cut it here. I've had enough stalking and talking for one night. See you all. I see y'all in a couple of weeks, in about 2 weeks. That much I can at least promise, since I'll know I'll be free that day. And if you made it all the way to the end of this, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you decided to view this. I don't know. I'm not your boss. And I hope I gave you at least a little bit of entertainment before the night was over. Or day was over. You get the gist. Alright. See y'all. See y'all next time I do this. Bye.